Before you take your first sip of coffee tomorrow morning, I need you to stop. There is a 2-minute ritual that flips the pilot light of your biology back on, and it is not a gimmick, a supplement trend, or a marketing trick. It is a simple, rhythmic habit you can perform standing at your kitchen sink, eyes half open, before the caffeine ever touches your tongue. If you wake up with heavy limbs, a mental fog that feels like someone turned down the dimmer switch on your brain, or if you feel like a stranger is staring back at you in the bathroom mirror, pay very close attention. This is the 2-minute internal wash. We are living in a time that Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, arguably foresaw, a period of intense energetic transition. As we move through 2026, the sheer volume of technological static, collective anxiety, and environmental stress is doing something specific to the human frame. It is frying our nervous systems. You've been conditioned to treat your exhaustion like a single, isolated problem. You are told to sleep more, drink more caffeine, or simply push through using sheer willpower. But what if that exhaustion isn't a lack of sleep? What if it's a systemic short circuit? Edgar Cayce's medical readings, delivered in a state of deep trance, pointed to a specific glandular key for the human experience. He didn't just look at organs. He looked at the transformers of the body. He identified the thyroid not just as a metabolic regulator, but as the gland of destiny. It is the gateway between your physical energy and your spiritual intent. When the pilot light in this gland goes out, the hearth of your metabolism grows cold. You can throw all the fuel you want at it, food, coffee, stimulants, but if the spark is missing, you are just piling wood on a dead fire. Cayce recommended a very specific form of iodine to reignite this internal flame. He called it atomic iodine, and in the readings it was often referred to as Atomadine. This wasn't the standard iodine you find in a survival kit. It was described as a highly bioavailable anionic preparation, a substance that had been treated to hold a specific vibratory frequency. Cayce and the practitioners who followed his protocols believed this form of iodine acted like a match to the thyroid, reigniting the metabolic and subtle systems of the body in a way that standard supplements simply couldn't touch. If this concept of metabolic ignition resonates with the heaviness you've been feeling lately, I want you to type the word ignited in the comments right now. It is a way of marking your intent to stop the push-through culture and start working with your biology instead of against it. Now let's look at the biological ash problem. Think of your metabolism as a hearth. Over years of stress, poor diet, and shallow breathing, ash piles up. The embers get choked. The windows of your perception get fogged by the steam of a body that is struggling to burn clean. When people begin using this internal wash protocol, they consistently report 3 distinct shifts. First, a metabolic ignition. It's like adding bellows to a fireplace, allowing the embers to finally burn off that accumulated biological ash. Second, a lifting of the mental fog, an opening of what Cayce might call the inner skylight, as the circulation between the thyroid and the pineal gland clears. And third, the strengthening of your vibrational field. This is what modern biohackers might call resilience, but in the readings it's described as a shield, an energized aura that prevents the ambient static of the world from dragging your personal frequency down. Here is the precise ritual. It is meant to be done in that sacred quiet window right after you wake up, but before you introduce coffee or food. Your body is still in its morning pulse, its most receptive state. According to the protocols drawn from the source readings, prepare exactly half a glass of clean room temperature water. Add 1 single drop, just one, of the atomic or Atomadine iodine to the water. Do not stir it violently. A gentle swirl is enough. Now, here is the part most people miss, the timing. You do not gulp this down. You sip it slowly in small rhythmic pulses over the course of about 2 minutes. With each sip, you take a conscious breath. Sip, breathe, sip, breathe. You are setting a rhythm for your entire day. You are telling your nervous system that the war is over and the reconstruction has begun. The pattern described in the Cayce tradition is 5 days on and 2 days off. This pulse rhythm is vital. It avoids continuous loading and respects the body's natural cycles of activity and rest. You are not flooding a furnace. You are coaxing a pilot light. Consistency in the rhythm is far more powerful than the quantity of the substance. I must be very clear here. This is a ritual of sovereignty, which means you must treat it with respect. This detailed protocol is presented as a reflection of the historical readings, not as a medical prescription. If you have known thyroid disease, autoimmune disorders like Hashimoto's, if you are pregnant, nursing, or taking prescription medications, especially thyroid hormones or endocrine drugs, you must consult your healthcare provider before exploring any iodine protocol. Do not alter your prescribed medications. People with overactive thyroid conditions can have adverse reactions to iodine, and those with autoimmune issues may need preparatory steps, such as the castor oil packs Cayce frequently recommended to balance the system before starting iodine. Safety is the foundation of true biohacking. Monitor how you feel. If you notice unusual symptoms, you pause. Why does this specific ritual produce such dramatic reports of clarity? The thyroid sits at the base of your neck like a master transformer box. Every drop of blood in your body passes through this area approximately every 17 minutes. When you introduce a vibratory, anionic form of iodine in a rhythmic way, you are theoretically participating in the biochemical exchanges that help the body burn off stagnant residue. But it goes deeper. Cayce linked the thyroid to the pineal gland, the seat of the soul, or the inner eye. When the chemistry in this corridor improves, the fog doesn't just leave your brain, it leaves your life. Decisions feel lighter. Your reaction to stress becomes less visceral and more observed. As we move deeper into 2026, the need for these short, daily, sovereign rituals is becoming non-negotiable. You cannot rely on the external world to give you energy. The world is currently designed to take it. You need a practice that you control, one that takes only 120 seconds but recalibrates the voltage of your entire being. If you decide to try this, I recommend using a neutral glass, nothing plastic. Hold the intention that you are simply inviting your body to wake up. Do not demand an instant miracle. Instead, look for the subtle shifts. Is your throat feeling lighter? Is your morning mind less cluttered? Is your emotional tone steadier by 2 p.m.? Track these data points. The source rhythm of 5 days on and 2 days off is designed to work with your body, not override it. This is about reclaiming your personal power in small, repeatable steps. It is a feet-on-the-ground ritual. It asks for nothing dramatic, just 2 minutes of your attention, a rhythmic sip, and the intentional reawakening of a system that most people ignore until it loudly fails. It is a way of saying to your body, and to the day ahead of you, I am here and I am coming online. If this resonates with you, and you are ready to explore the deeper codes of your own biology, I want to invite you to join this community of reclamation. Small rituals rewire big patterns. You don't need to overhaul your entire life tomorrow. You just need a reliable, sovereign practice that restores your momentum. If you found value in this breakdown of Cayce's internal wash, please give this video a like. It helps the algorithm find others who are drowning in the fog of 2026. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications. In our next session, we are going to go even deeper into the karmic map, decoding how birthmarks and physical energetic markers reveal the soul's imprint and how they tie directly back to this glandular work we discussed today. Type ignited below if you are committed to your first week of this morning reset. Share your impressions after 7 days. I want to hear about the fog lifting and the steadying of your internal flame. Let's keep walking this path of reclamation together. I will see you in the next code.